Major Tip Hazard, reporting.
Tell him Freddy sent you.
Hello, it's midnight. I'm here with Gizmo. You gotta keep gremlins out of bright light. They don't like it. You don't get them otherwise. Yeah, if Gizmo got wet, he'd turn into a gremlin. They bite and fight, bite and fight and bite, 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 fight, fight, fight. The Gizmo and Stripe Show. Oh yeah. Keep him out of the sun. So remember, don't feed him after midnight. Don't get them wet. Keep him out of the sun. You gotta love Gizmo. The gremlins are awesome. Yeah, they're everywhere.
Hey, be very, very quiet. I'm filming after midnight. So, our fifth top choice is on the underappreciated but very good Joe Dante. Yep, I feel he is one of the most underappreciated directors, yet remains one of the best. So, let's start this off with Piranha. Released in 1978, the same year Jaws 2 was released, this parody of Jaws sunk its teeth in. It's a great B-grade creature feature, distributed by the one and only Roger Corman and his low-budget studio. You know, Corman is known for many great B-grade to D-grade creature features, monster movies, and this is one of the granddaddies. You know, for the time, the effects are really cool. The music is haunting. It's a bit funny. It's cheesy. You got super sexy teens, as they had in the 70s, you know. Like, it's a popcorn horror, dark comedy almost. And you know, it was followed up by the one and only James Cameron to give us Piranha 2, but here it is. The original. It was remade in 1995, and then it got another remake in 2010, which was well received, and a not so good sequel. But the remake is quite rare. Now, a few years after Piranha, Joe Dante gave us The Howling, one of the best werewolf films ever. It spawned a franchise, but just as An American Werewolf in London, the rival film, The Howling has a great transformation scene. And probably Joe Dante's most remembered, most loved, the dark, quirky, Christmas classic Gremlins. This, along with Temple of Doom, gave us the PG-13 rating. Like, this is rated PG, but ideally, with its violence and contents, it should be M. This is not for kids. Like, it scared the little skeleton in me when I first saw it, but it is awesome. Great effects, like some of the best puppetry ever. It's got a little stop motion in it, and, you know, it's got the famous quotes by the main gremlin, Gizmo. Of course, that's Stripe, and little Gizmo is there, voiced by Howie Mandel, who's popular judge on America's Got Talent. So you think it was Frank Welker doing all the voices, but no, Howie voiced Gizmo. Frank did all the other Gremlins. You know, it's got Joe Dante regular Dick Miller in this. And the interesting thing, in 1954, as best as I remember, Bugs Bunny had a run-in with a gremlin. And then in 84, Joe Dante gave us Gremlins. And then in Gremlins 2, it was so loony, they called one of the Gremlins Daffy. And then in 2003, Dante gave us Looney Tunes Back in Action. And like in Gremlins, there's a few references to other films. And in Looney Tunes Back in Action, there's references to other films. So, was Joe Dante meant to work for Warner Brothers? Because it's plastered all over Gremlins 2. But before the new batch, we got Inner Space. Now, Jerry Goldsmith did the score for this forgotten classic, Gremlins, Gremlins 2. He was a regular. Great composer, passed away in 2004. But, yeah, Inner Space, it's forgotten, but it's got such a great cast. Martin Short, Meg Ryan, Dennis Quaid, even Vernon Wells from Commando and Mad Max 2 is in it. And the effects are so great, they won an Academy Award. The only film that won an award. Like, it's sort of like the Amazing Journey or Fantastic Voyage from the 50s. It's like that, but, you know, it's comedy gold. Like, it's fun, the timing, acting is really good, but the effects are what made that film so memorable. And so many people forget it, but it's there, it's good. And then we got one of the quirkiest, funnest, balls to the wall, imaginative sequels. Not as dark. There's a few grisly moments, a bit of gore, like when the Gremlins put through the shredder, and yes, many Looney Tunes references. There's a Batman reference because of the awesome Bat Gremlin when they start eating all the chemicals from the labs. Christopher Lee is in this. Sir Christopher Lee, you know? So Joe Dante had connections. He knew how to have the cast. The twins who were in T2, they're in this. You know, and returning cast as well. Right there. Dick Miller's in it again. Once again, great effects. You got awesome Gremlins. You got the electric Gremlin. You got Mohawk, aka Spike, who's like a reincarnation of Stripe. Pity he wasn't utilized so much. He turns into a big spider at the end. Such a waste. Gizmo, you know, he goes full Rambo, but it's fun. Gremlins 2 is fun. And when you thought the fun was over, we got Small Soldiers. A cross of Toy Story, Gremlins, and even a little Terminator. Because in the intro, when they're making the Commando Elite, there's a bunch of mini endoskeletons. And those were supplied by Stan Winston and crew. So you see these mini Terminators, they get the face on it, and Phil Hartman, rest in peace, he even quotes, "No problemo." So, this movie has everything. It wasn't a big hit, but it sure sold a whole heap of merchandise. And then, yes, we get to Looney Tunes, Back in Action. Great film. It's like a spiritual sequel to Space Jam, but it wasn't as successful. Still great animation, great voice work. And yeah, Dante is a good director. Underappreciated, yes, but he made his mark. I mean, seriously. I may not have all the films, but I mean, look at this collection. It's a full house. See, they're flying everywhere. It's crazy, just as Gremlins. It's crazy filming this after midnight, you know, but look at that. You can tell not only am I a fan, but he's just great of directing these many great movies. They really are classics. You know, classic of classics. just as classic Christmas movie as Die Hard, this is a great Christmas movie. It's a great dark horror comedy. This is fun. The game was pretty cool. The toys were awesome. That's awesome and fun. That's really cool. You know, great sequel. So yeah, Joe Dante, visionary, just really made a name for himself. And those films prove it. So I better get out of here because there's lots of craziness happening. So I'll scare you later and answer what your favorite scary movie is.